You know, the Guard, as the governor of the state, the Guard is super valuable to the state of Oklahoma, to our citizens. They're a ready and able workforce. They can bring just a multitude of different talents to fill in where we need them in a time of crisis.
The Guard really is like a Swiss Army knife. You know, there are so many things that we can do. There are so many ways that we can fill gaps that have become apparent in the community. To some degree now, but certainly at the start, I felt there was a tremendous amount of anxiety. There was a lot of unknowns that people were dealing with. But when the governor decided to use us in large numbers across Oklahoma, I thought the presence of the National Guard is a known commodity for most citizens across the state of Oklahoma. And I thought for the most part it was a very reassuring force. And I was very happy that we could be a part of that response to lend a little stability to all these communities across Oklahoma that didn't know what COVID was and how they were going to get through it. But they know the Guard is there, so things are going to be okay.
And so I just wanted to get organized with our information, and I wasn't getting a good, consistent flow of information. So we talked to the TAG, and we talked to the General Mancino, and so we called up the Guard to set up a information briefing, and so I could strategically put National Guard around the state.
We stood up a multi-agency council at RTI over at our Regional Training Institute. And we brought in all these agency heads to try to collaborate to figure out how do we best combat this, how do we best respond to this.
So really what that was an organic outgrowth of our, really just looking and evaluating the state's ability to coordinate the actions of all of the agencies of the state under the direction of the governor.
You know, the White House, we had calls with them every single week from the vice president and the president, their leadership that's advising the president. And consistently, they wanted to talk to me about how we utilize the Guard because our data was more accurate than any other state.
You had lots of people producing data, but if no one was looking and synthesizing it and producing information products to give the governor in the 45 minutes to an hour that you can get him to make decisions at an executive level. So he needed that information synthesized and provided to him in a format where he could see it, integrate it in, and make those decisions.
We put Guardsmen in our strategic stockpile to make sure that we distributed throughout the state to first responders.
If you spend time at our strategic national stockpile, the Army Guard transformed that capability, absolutely revolutionized it.
I think it's awesome because shipping out stuff I can see like Comanche County Health Department and Lawton, Oklahoma, and that's my family and that's my friends, and so that's awesome that I am able to work up here shipping out things that they need.
I really want to recognize the people of Oklahoma in that industry for putting our testing protocols in place. The Guard has done everything from literally administer the tests, to transporting the tests, to picking up the tests at labs and taking it to a testing spot. The Guard has played a huge role in that, and I'm very proud of our young men, our young women who have worked all day in that PPE with the mask and the gowns and never had a bad attitude. And even though the public wasn't waiting long periods of time, it was pretty consistent. Person after person after person was there. Wasn't much a break between, patient A and patient B because there was always someone there waiting to get a test. I think that contact tracing is very important. I also think it's very challenging because if you think about the world that we live in today, when your phone rings and it's not somebody that pops up in your contact, someone that you recognize, you may or may not answer it.
So when we do contact tracing, there is fear that people have in the community, about privacy. So we're not there to worry about what they're doing. We're just worried about their symptoms, making sure that they are aware that they came in contact with COVID-19.
The theory is if you can contact trace enough, then you can inhibit the spread of the disease. But that requires that you do broad-scale testing, and once those individuals have indicated themselves as being positive, that you're then able to immediately follow up with contact tracing and identify all the people that might have been exposed by that person and isolate them.
So the mission absolutely makes sense, and we'll probably be doing that for an extended period of time.
We also set up some task force to clean nursing homes and to help with that, because that's the most vulnerable population, and where we had our highest death rate was inside long-term care facilities.
So we were really just doing anything we could to impact that in a positive way.
It's important because the residents that live here fall into the vulnerable population in Oklahoma for COVID-19. And so by us coming in here and disinfecting, we mitigate the spread of COVID-19.
I went to several locations just to visit our folks that were performing that mission, and I want to encourage those guys, because that's hard work, because you're covered from head to toe in this PPE, and you're scrubbing depending on the size of that nursing home, multi-stories in some cases. It's a hard, tough job. Some of those places have never had that level of cleaning take place, and it's got to give the people that work there and the people that live there a better feeling that the Guard has come. And I think they're going to remember that for a long time.
We are so happy to welcome the Oklahoma Air National Guard to our facility, and we're so thankful to Governor Stitt for activating and making that happen. This group is like a well-oiled machine, and just having 25 of them here has made such a difference in just these first few days. They are literally setting records of number of emergency food boxes packed and number of pallets that we're able to fill, and that makes such a difference because we're seeing an incredible increase in need for food assistance in Oklahoma. So having the Air National Guard here has been like a real shot in the arm for us.
So I think it's extremely important for us right now, especially in this pressing time. A lot of people are losing their jobs and they can't afford food. So with us being here and being able to pass them out, we're really making a difference in our community.
I don't know if I could adequately compare this to anything. You hear all these terms, and we've heard them ad nauseum, and we've grown tired of them, unprecedented, never before. But this truly is something as a country that we've never dealt with before. I think we did a really good job. Time will tell. We'll look back and see how well we did, but I don't think that calling the Guard in was ever a mistake. I think it's the exact opposite. I think everywhere I went and all the feedback I saw from social media or from people that knew I was in the Guard that talked to me, everywhere we went, we made a difference. And everywhere we went, it was a commitment to that community, and it was a silent nod to the governor for thank you for taking this serious enough to send the Oklahoma National Guard to help us.
So the Guard was exemplary in every task that we asked them to do, and just can't thank them enough. They went above and beyond and helped Oklahomans in a time of crisis fight this COVID pandemic.
I was at Katrina. I had extensive experience in tornadoes. This represents one of the highlights of the National Guard's domestic service, and I rank it right up there with Katrina or any of my combat deployments and what I saw our men and women doing.
The people who are wearing this uniform, they're representing everyone that's ever worn this uniform. They're representing everyone that wears this uniform right now. And they're representing everyone that ever will wear this uniform. And to do that on a volunteer basis, to step up and accept that responsibility, really simple for me. Thank you.